So let me ask you, who is responsible for your actions? Is it you, or is it somebody else? And the reason I ask that question is because it seems like people have been trying to spread blame around an awful lot lately. I'm not just talking about people trying to spread blame for their own actions, the kind of the bully reaction that we see from government officials saying, oh, no, you're forcing us to invade this other country. No, you're making us put these laws into action. I'm not talking about that kind of bullying. I'm talking about more like individuals who are saying, honestly, it's not enough that that person over there committed that act of murder. We need to go out and find the person who influenced them. And now look, I understand. Responsibility should be shared when somebody is enticing someone to commit a heinous crime. If someone is trying to convince someone to go out and plant bombs, okay, I got it. But to hold Amazon responsible for the bombing in London because they had grouped together, those who bought this also bought that. That's literally, they are saying that Amazon.com should be responsible for, at least in part, for what happened in London with the bombing because they had those bomb-making materials grouped together. Now look, these things are based on algorithms, right? I've seen this happen myself. It's a basic algorithm that when you type in, basically how to get more sales of something. If somebody is buying a pen and then they buy a different pen of a similar nature, well, if somebody's buying one, then the salesperson says, would you like to buy this one too? I mean, that's simple salesmanship, and they've created an algorithm to do it online so that when they see, well, this item's being purchased, and this item's being purchased, and so it is automatically introduced. By saying that somehow Amazon is responsible for a bomb because they discovered an algorithm that, hey, people who are buying black powder are also buying ball bearings. Am I the only person here who sees how it's going out of control, where they're trying to bring as many people into this web and saying you're all responsible for it? No, the person responsible for the bombing, first and foremost, is the person who made and placed the bomb. Period. Now, secondarily, if there was someone who was influencing him, saying to him, you need to go out and do this. Somebody who's like a handler, like an agent. I was one of those when I was in Bosnia. I was an agent handler. That's what I did. That was my job as a human intelligence collector. We ran several different sources in Bosnia, and we did this with complete legal immunity because it was in service of the United States of America. Well, you know what? If we had been caught by the Bosnian government, we would have been held responsible in the same way that the guy or people who may have influenced this bomber in London should be held accountable. But Amazon being held accountable, there's a disconnect there. And I just hope somebody besides me is able to see it. If you'd like to engage me on the topic, send me an email, steve@radiofreespeech.com.